What's up, comic book fans? Pete here from Comic Books Transformed, where me and my very good friend Brian over there discuss comics that have been adapted into streaming shows and movies. So for today, we got a marathon. There are so many different comic book shows that are out right now, putting out new episodes, and there's crazy stuff going on in each show. We are going to cover Invincible. We are going to cover Daredevil Born Again. We are going to cover The Boys. And so for today, as you can tell by Mark Grayson behind us, we're covering Invincible in this episode. Brian, are you a little overwhelmed with all this shit?
Oh my God! Isn't anybody ever just whelmed?
Yes, there you go. Nice. Little
I say that all
Grayson
the time.
reference right there. You do?
Yeah, I really want to point out. So we're covering all 4 episodes of Daredevil today, but just thinking about this week alone was kind of insane.
Yes.
The Invincible episode was great. The Daredevil episode was great, and both Boys episodes were great. So that's like 4 ridiculously good episodes in a span of like 3 days. Was that? No, 2 days, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yes. Yeah. And I actually have to cover Monarch too, which is on Apple Plus, and that's over on my other channel, The Lastercast. But that show's lame. So let's fucking talk about Invincible because this is my favorite thing that I watched all week so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So what the heck happened in this episode?
Yeah.
So the end of the last episode was the confrontation with Invincible and Conquest, and we've seen a billion spaghetti memes since, and we start off with this kind of like the split storyline here with Mark recovering on whatever planet that is, and then Nolan and Oliver kind of bonding, and then there's the actual war going on with everybody else, and Earth is not on the radar this week.
Yes. I couldn't remember from the comics what happened after Mark was hurt so severely. And I kind of assumed that he was going to recover and it was going to take a while, but I totally forgot that Nolan and his brother just were benched as well. So this is a real treat, this episode. I don't want to like jump right to the money shot, but this episode had yet again another amazing montage. I love this montage. I think one of the things that makes the Invincible montages so good is that they almost never pick a song that I'm familiar with or know about, but then they're like great songs and they're appropriate. Like, do you know who like made this song they used? Or
so this is actually a topic that I see coming up a lot. So not with the songs particularly, but I feel like we did know the songs earlier on. I at least remember a Radiohead song in one of the earlier seasons. And I think there were other ones too. And I've seen so much arguing online about people saying that the animation isn't good and they should stop wasting their budget on, high profile voice actors, which I don't think the animation is bad. And I think they're doing the right thing with the voice actors because everybody knocks it out of the park.
Yes.
I don't care that they have a big name voicing a character for 3 lines. If it works, it works. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I like this show so much.
Yeah. No, but like every single aspect of it is good. Like complaining about the animation is just like, what fucking world do you live in, man? Like you gotta complain about this. Like you have to complain about
that's the world that people live in.
Yeah. I mean, what's so bad? Like, what do you want it to be like? Do you want it to be like this amazing anime? It could be so much fucking lamer. Like, you want it to be like Batman the Animated Series? Like, okay, like what do you want it to be? I think it looks fucking great for what it is, and this episode was another good example of it. I don't know who made this song, and to go along with the songs being recognizable or not, I actually prefer for it to not be recognizable because I would really hate if they played a song and it's like, oh, this is so cliche. Like if they played like fucking, I don't know, like
Slayer during a hell of it.
Well, okay, that's an exception because that's just like so on the money, right?
I agree. That was awesome.
Yeah, whoever made this song though, it was this weird kind of like punkish kind of song that was sort of like, alternative new wavy kind of thing. And it had this like beat to it too that was great. It's just not what you would expect when you see like alien characters gathered in a war room around like a projection and stuff. You expect it to be this like big symphonic brass kind of thing, very serious. And it's not. It's just like this fun, hip song. And it was just like back and forth between what's going on in the war and then what's going on in Nolan and I always Oliver? Yeah. Like their like relationship developing. It was so fucking good.
Yeah, there was this was I really like how they set up that kind of drama with Nolan and Oliver too. And it just the whole he overheard the conversation that he had with Debbie. Just the whole thought that his own biological mother was kind of an afterthought or whatever. I also think it's really funny how they're setting up Oliver's preferences in relationship preferences.
Yes. Yes.
Which I think will be surprising to viewers.
Yes. So great. Like, yeah, he's talking about how he was in like a seafood restaurant with his mom, her new boyfriend, and Mark, and he saw a crab in a tank, and he started to feel like those fuzzy feelings, And I saw an ad. You talked about how the boys got spoiled for you. I saw a post on like, I don't know, Blue Sky or whatever the fuck it is, where it showed like Oliver and like he had this face kind of like he wasn't interested, and I think it was like some hot alien space chick, and then there was another picture and it was like just a crab like this, and he was all excited, and I thought that was perfect.
Was it the Drake meme?
Yeah, it was kind of like the Drake meme, but with Oliver. Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. But I really just want to talk about that montage, right? Because we have Alan returning to the planet that's essentially like Coruscant for their coalition, and the people have been losing. They're not covering as much ground as they'd like, and then we find out that they have Battle Beast, and you hear Battle Beast snarling, and you're like, oh shit! Like you feel the excitement because you want the good guys to win. You're like, oh, they got this guy now. They might be able to make a difference. I mean, you got excited when you heard Battle Beast.
It's always great to hear another high-profile voice. Maybe not a super high-profile, but Michael Dorn from Star Trek to voicing a character there. So yeah, it was exciting to hear him back. And although they don't show all that much of him,
no,
I don't think.
No, but they do it just enough. Like during that montage, we see the people that we kind of know. First of all, we see like just soldiers from both sides of this war. The Viltrumite people, but not the Viltrumite like people, but like their minions.
Yeah, the races they enslaved. Yeah,
right. Versus the coalition people, and it's just an army fighting against each other. But then all of a sudden, fucking Battle Beast shows up and just starts slaughtering all the minions. And you're like, yeah, fucking do this,
I do love that. I also love every time Space Racer shows up and just shoots that gun that just decimates everything. And I wish they went into more detail with what that thing is and does. That it's just like this destructive thing that just doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so fucking good. I mean, okay, Brian, I'll admit I was high out of all of the shows that we watched. I was sober for Daredevil. I was sober for Boys, but then I was high for this. And like, I almost had a fucking orgasm. I think it was Alan's girlfriend when the Viltrumite. Oh no, it was Tech Jacket. I think. They were like, "Oh, what are you gonna do against us?" And then one of them was like, "Oh, we're gonna shoot a gun through like your whole fucking planet or something like that." And just the beam from Space Racer just like went through the Viltrumite and then went through the ship.
And the ship.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
But we didn't even mention is that this episode actually starts off with another montage where you have a speech from fucking Optimus Prime himself.
Peter Cullen. Yeah, that's right. Yes, he's speaking of the coalition. Yeah, there was actually one of the fight scenes. So eventually we get to a scene where the Viltrumites come to Telescria and they attack the coalition at their home base, and they cause a lot of destruction. But Thetis is fighting against Crag. So Crag's the one with the red eye. and somebody drew a
Yep.
like a comic panel of it, and they
Yep.
drew it Optimus Prime versus Mr. Crab.
Yup, I saw that. I saw that. I was gonna share it with you. You already fucking saw it. Amazing. Amazing.
Oh, that was a great thing to see.
Yeah. Because Clancy Brown is the the Viltrumite guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about what's that fucking actor's name that was Ronan the Accuser? He's in like
Lee
The
Pace.
Hobbit. Thank you, Brian. You were so good. How do you feel about him being the voice of Thrag?
Yeah, I've seen some people complain that it's not. It doesn't feel. Not threatening. It doesn't feel like prominent enough, I guess. You're supposed to be like, and I guess I sort of felt this way about Thrag in the comic as well, to be honest. He sort of is just another Viltrumite. I mean, yeah, he's a slightly bigger Viltrumite. I think they start drawing him bigger as the show goes on or the comic goes on. But I mean, he's the most Freddie Mercury looking Viltrumite out of them all, and I think that was intentional. And I don't know, something about Thrag didn't hit as much as even like Conquest, you know.
Right.
So I sort of hear. I think he's doing a good job. I think Lee Pace is a great actor. I think he is a good voice for it. But I don't. I think it's maybe just an overall thought that Thrag isn't as imposing as he could be. He's not as iconic as he should be. You know.
Right. Yeah, I am like really grateful that you brought the Freddie Mercury comparison because I think just sort of seeing him makes you think of Freddie Mercury, like you said, and then you're expecting a sort of a more high-pitched, bombastic voice. At least when reading the comics, that's what I'm picturing. Is like he's maybe got like a higher-pitched voice, and it's more like shouting, versus like he's much more subdued, and his voice is very deep. You know?
Yeah.
So, and you know, he's not necessarily playing a character who's very different from his Guardians of the Galaxy villain, too.
Yeah, I agree with that there. But even there, that felt more fitting. I think the voice for Ronan made more sense to me.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that as well. Yeah. So, I mean, we have all this stuff going on, and I didn't even point out that maybe because I was high, but like I didn't even consider that Oliver would have heard Nolan say that thing about his mom and like saying that he didn't care about his mom. So when Oliver revealed that, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
it's great. Like, I technically should know everything that happened, but I don't remember anything. So everything is like hitting new.
Yes, and I mean that's another thing too. Is like in the comic, that is the way it goes. They don't like take Mark to a hospital in the comic and he recovers. It's just he's a Viltrumite, and they're just waiting months for him to get better.
Yeah, they just push the spaghetti back in and feed him weird alien eggs.
Yes. So in the interest of you know, getting to the point or whatever, because we have to cover two other fucking shows. We should talk about how this episode goes like the last episode, where you already have such a big portion of it devoted to this one story beat. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we're also having this gigantic battle at the end too. Did that surprise you this time around, or were you kind of like, oh, they're going to show the whole thing now?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the recovery time for Mark takes months. I wasn't, and I don't remember how many issues it took up in the comic, but like I wasn't expecting it to be completely resolved and them all being back in the fight in the same episode, to be honest.
Right.
But I'm glad it was. It was a good. It was paced well. I think. I don't think they needed to spend much more time on that planet, or needed much more time to spend depicting what the war was like without the other Viltrumites involved.
Yeah. If I was Danny, I'd be like, it was Lee paced well. There you go. But anyway, so we have this gigantic battle on this planet that's like Coruscant, and it's like evocative of 9/11 because no one's expecting it. There's also like a mole in the midst for the coalition forces, where there's a guy who like lowers their shield. Like I guess the planet has like almost like a Spaceballs type defense shield, and they're able to lower it for the Viltrumite attack. it's really fucking brutal, but yet I don't think any of the main characters die in that assault.
No, but there were a lot of civilians that were killed here, and it was in a very gruesome way. I really enjoyed the scene where I think Alan says something like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad," and then his girlfriend was it Teleria, whatever her name is, the blue girl. It's Tatiana Maslany. She's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, look at this."
Wait, was that between him and her, or was that between him and Optimus Prime?
Oh, was it Thetis? I don't remember.
Yeah,
but either way, the sentiment was there. Like some people thought like we won this battle sort of thing, and then they're looking around at the destruction and we're like, no, it wasn't worth it, sort of. I appreciated that contrast between those two things there. I also wanted to point out I definitely noticed Anissa a lot in this episode, and we know what's coming with Anissa, but you can kind of see the frustration on her face, and I think that's very intentional. And then I'm still kind of wondering if they're going to do that.
Oh, I know. And for some reason, I thought that happened before the Viltrumite War. But then I remembered what the aftermath of the Viltrumite War is like, Yes. So,
yes.
I feel like it actually will happen, as disturbing as it is, just because I think that Viltrumites are so important to this show. So I think they will have that one thing that is so controversial. I think they are going to have it happen eventually.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Viltrumites leave for their home world, and I kind of feel like this next episode is just going to be this, like, knockout, drag-out fight with the Viltrumites and the Coalition forces. And then the last episode of the season, because there's only 8, right, is going to be sort of the aftermath. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the battle's gonna be the next episode, and I think we're gonna be back on Earth by the end of the last episode, and kind of getting a catch up with what's been happening there. Because isn't this one of the point where that like Skeletor dude comes from another dimension? It's like sort of like Darkseid and Skeletor, and that every hero has to band together, but Mark's not there to help.
Oh, I 1000% forgot about that. So
he's on like they make it seem like he's this like universal destroyer,
right?
And he's only in a couple panels, but I remember like that standing out to me.
Well, okay. What about the fucking mummy guy? Because we didn't even mention him the last time. They showed that mummy for like a scene too. Yeah.
They that scene was called out for the celebrity voices again as well, because I forget who the mummy is, but one of the girls is Ella Purnell, and the other girl was something too, and I forget. But yeah, that little side story is going there. I don't think that was in the comic, or maybe it was. I don't remember.
I don't really remember it from the comic, but God, man, people just need to chill the fuck out. Like, I get if there's like voice acting and it's sort of lame. Like, certainly there's like feature films where it's like, okay, you cast Chris Pratt in this role or The Rock in this role because that's who they are. But, you're casting these dynamic actors in each of these roles. And some of them, they're not like A-list actors, but for people like us in genre that love genre, like Michael Dorn, like not everyone's going to recognize him. But then like, we're like, oh, of course, a guy about like honor and battle being Battle Beast. That's perfect casting, Yep. Clancy Brown is an evil kind of Superman type. Like, yep, that works, Yep.
Totally works.
Maybe not Lee Pace, but he's still a great fucking actor.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know what I was really expecting with that, but I don't think it's bad. But I think, like I said, I think Thrag isn't as iconic in general as he should be.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, we just had to cover one episode. Was there anything else you wanted to add to this?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, guys, we are back. We're covering a lot of shows, and we will be covering, I guess, The Boys next. So if you liked what happened here, I've noticed an increase in views, too, which has been like, oh, thank you. So if you guys are fans, we could definitely use some more subscribers. We could use some likes and some comments too. But guys, thank you so much, and we will see you guys real